If you own bonds or bond mutual funds, you've just hit the jackpot. The only real question is, are you going to walk away with the cash? I mean, I get it. This is an unprecedented time in history. We've never seen interest rates this low or bond values this high, so it's hard to be sure what to do. On the one hand, you've got these bonds paying 4 or 5% at a time when you can't get 4 or 5% anywhere else. On the other hand, your bonds and bond mutual funds are worth more now than they've ever been worth. And here's the kicker, maybe worth more than they will ever be again. So how do you decide what to do? Well, I might be talking like an investment geek, but I really think the math tells a story here. And more importantly, the math might give us a clearer picture of where we are right now. So stick with me over the next 60 seconds. We've established that interest rates and bond values move opposite of each other. When interest rates rise, bond values go down, and vice versa. We've talked about why that happens, and so we know that it's a law of physics in the investment world. What we haven't talked about is, how do you know what the value of your current bond is when interest rates fluctuate? Well, there's a simple formula for that. You take the dollar amount of interest your bond generates and divide that by the new interest rate. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Suppose you have a $10,000 bond paying 5% interest. That means your bond pays you $500 a year in interest. So if interest rates go down to, say, 1%, we could calculate the new value of our bond by taking $500 divided by 1%, the new interest rate. That $10,000 bond is now worth $50,000. You would have to give someone $50,000 at 1% interest to generate the $500 per year that your bond generates. So that would be your asking price if you decided to sell your bond. Now, it's a little bit more complicated than that because the credit quality of your bond and duration to maturity affect that calculation. But not by much. That's pretty much what your old bond is worth. Keep in mind, interest rates aren't at 1%. I only used that as an example. Interest rates are actually lower than that. Remember, the Fed lowered interest rates to 0 for the time being, so your bonds are worth even more. But if we believe interest rates will eventually go back up, maybe because of our growing national debt or the need to keep Social Security or Medicare solvent, look what happens. At 2% interest rates, our bond values fall from $50,000 to $25,000. At 3% rates, our bond value falls to $16,666. And at 4% rates, our bond value falls to $12,500. You can see that it falls pretty fast. But do you really want to walk away from 5% just yet? I mean, you could collect $500 a year checks to maturity. Well, doing the math, it would only take you 80 years to get to a break even and equal the $40,000 gain in value that you're sitting on right now. Now, I'm obviously being a little facetious, but the math makes it really obvious. If you own bonds right now, you have a winning lottery ticket. The only question now is, when are you going to pick up the phone to cash in your lottery ticket, and what are you going to do with your winnings? To find out how to value and liquidate your current bonds or bond mutual funds, to find out how to cash them in, and to find out how CPIs might fit to grow and keep your winnings safe, click the Schedule a Call button at the bottom of this email. The call is only 15 minutes and it's free and it's easy. Just schedule your call.